This is Arlene, and she's going to show us the quilts at the Arts and Crafts Fair. Okay?
Okay. Okay. This quilt is done by Mary Lyon.
I need to have you over here.
Further. Okay. Done by Mary Lyon, and it is a nice star quilt. And it's hand quilted, and it's called September Sun.
All right.
Okay. These racks, they're all large quilts, and I have to go up and read the name. Cheddar Surprise, and it's by Arlene Minsky. She's from Wisconsin, so a very appropriate name for it. This is Ballet Stars, and the center of that is all hand quilted. And Nancy Neufeld made that one. She made several of them that are on display here in the Quilt Show. This one is by Paula Bohm, and it's called a BQ quilt. This one is a Underground Railroad theme quilt, and the person who made this, her grandson made most of it, and he's still a young child, so it's really sentimental value to this one. Marlene Bloom made this one, and it's called the Bleachers Quilt. Here comes some. This is a scrappy quilt, and it's made by Sue DeBoer. That's a lot of pinwheels. There's another one by Nancy Neufeld, and it's Dresden type plates and other samplers. This one is by Beth Yakimchuk, and there's little dog sleds in it. I don't know if they'd show up there.
Yes.
Okay.
Dog sleds.
She's from Alaska.
That's cool.
I thought so too.
Okay.
This is another one by Nancy Neufeld, and she embroidered all those blocks and then put it together.
Oh, wow. The detail. It's tremendous. All right.
Bev Snyder did this one, and it's machine embroidered and then put into the quilt. And after she did the embroidery, she put the framing on to make it look like you're looking out a window. The quilt is by Sue Mathis, and besides it being this shape, she did the label on her embroidery machine.
That's fancy. Go.
The first one over here is Kenyan Blue Angel. It's by Vicki Wheatley. And then Julie did that love one. Julie Burzloff did love. And Sharon Kilmer did the miniatures. Those are a lot of work. Tiny. This one is by Sue Hodder, and it's Cardinals in a Chain. The next one is by Dawn Harris, and it's Flowers and Patches. Tiny, tiny flowers. And then Flower Garden is by Paula Bloom.
Which are sticking up, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're all in these. And the next one is by Jan Baer, and it's called Love, obviously. And Marion Blacksfeld did these snowmen and reindeer in redwood and put them all into that quilt. Okay, this is Quilts of Valor that's done by our embroidery group in the sewing room also. And each of these is done by another person, and a lot of the women come help put them into quilts. And two of them were given, one to the Canadian veteran and one to a U.S. veteran. And they will be doing the same thing this fall on Veterans Day. The pictures are the pictures of the persons that they were presented to. That interesting one is by Becky Moss, and it's called 100 Wishes. The next quilt is by Linda Riley, and it's called Linda's Bows. And it's really hard to see when you look at it because of the lighting in here.
That's very intricate.
Yes, it is. And the next one is Diane's Garden by Audrey Pryor. And she teaches a lot of the stained glass type or Celtic type quilting. This one's actually. This quilt is by Judy Rad, and it's called Modern Greek Shadows. Quilt on the Bow is by Cindy Snow, and it's reversible broken stripes. Andy Noyes made this one, and it's Moscato d'Asti. Nice Italian name. Sally Studecki made this Pinwheels Plus quilt. And Edith Mathis made this. This was block of the week, where we take a pattern and each week make it a different block and then put it into a quilt. And then the jacket was made by Marva Peterson. And this was a class, a Bargello jacket class. Friendship quilt made by Dottie. Actually, the squares were made by each of the people whose names are on each square, and so many of us gave her squares that she's got them on both sides, this side and the other side. We had a class on the Lone Star pattern, and what you're looking at now is by Marva Peterson. And actually, she just finished it last week. It's beautiful. And the one next to it is by Andy Noyes. And I love her purples. Then we have Cherry Festival by Bobby Hughes. And Linda Neary did this one. It's called Victor. And none of the diamonds are the same size. It took a bit of work to get that one through. Then Kathleen Burnett did this one, and it's Minnesota State Parks, and it's done attics window style. And she's got all the state stuff on it. This is another of the Bargello jackets. As I said, we had a class on them. And some of us made it up, going up, and some of us made it the Bargello go down. This one is by Vicki. And then Marie Klein did all three of those winter themes. And then the snowman placemat was done by Jan Mayer. That's one of a set. Sue Hodder did this block of the week from 2013. These are more of the same pattern that you saw on the other side, but she put them together differently. And Sally Studnicki did this quilt called Winter Wonderland, and it's done log cabin style. Linda Neri did this Stormy Stars, and it is embellished with little tiny beads. And Julie Burzloff did this Barnes quilt to remind her of the barns that they saw when they were out on one of their travels. Kay Moss did this. It's called Weekly Quilt Patterns. It was a block of the week, but she used a different fabric for it.
And there's dogs all over it.
Yes, dogs all over it. Done by Sharon Kilmer, and she noted on her thing that it took a year to do all the counted cross stitch for all the animals. It's called View from Our Mountain Cabin, and it took another year to put it into a quilt. Beautiful job.
Yeah, so this one was great for her. I'm not there. They just look nice.
Did these as a challenge, and we were challenged to make a 12-inch block from a piece of paper that we drew out of a basket, and each of us had a different word or a different theme to go by, and so it made it a very interesting challenge. They're all 12-inch blocks. And they're all happy words.
Now this is my favorite right here.
And got a bird, and we had to think of what that bird would do for Oh, the other side? He told me. I just
Most of it. This quilt was done by Dottie Whitmer, and the lace is a family heirloom, and it's all made from silk ties. These are all called 60-degree triangle frenzy, and Lavisa did this one, Lisa Markides. Paula Bohm did the second one. It's smaller than the other four. Elaine Stansrud did that one. Kay Moss did this one. And the final one is done by Brenda Aiken. The class had 30 people in it, but that's as many as decided to show their designs. The one in the corner on the bow is actually one of mine. It's the block of the week from last year. Andy Noyes did this one. It's called Buttercream Blues. It's very pretty. And on the next bow is one by Edith Mathis, and it's called Star Wishes. And then this one is by Barbara Ritchie, and it's called Disappearing Hourglass. This is another Bargello jacket, and this one's by Becky Moss. And then you just the quilt is by Christy Schleisman, and it is called, well, the English word would be Colors and Form. She did it in Italian. And Christy is an excellent teacher, and she is also a winner at the Arizona Quilt Show, and she will be entering this one in the Arizona Quilt Show at the end of the month. This jacket was done in the Bargello class also by Linda Riley. Then Pat Alberts did this Cathedral Stars. And then on the bow is a quilt by Lavisa Markides again, and this one is called Chaley's Owls, and if you look real close, there are owls in each of those squares.
Neat.
I like the pumpkins. I know, that's right.
The large quilt is done by Vicki Wheatley, and it's called Good Vibrations.
Should run back from the camera. Sorry.
The piece is done by Christy Schleisman, and it's called Welcome. She did it for a neighbor. And then the next one is Pumpkins, and it's a table runner, and it was done by Lavisa Markides. It's another one that I did. It's called Soaring Compliments.
Beautiful.
It took a lot of work to plan it, and all the geese, the lines line up all the way across each one. The lines line up across each one, and it took a lot of work to get those all in that sequence. This one is by Pat Alberts, and it's called excuse me. This one's done by Grace Williams. It's called Diamond Double. Jan Putnam did this one, and it's called No Name Wall Hanging. It looks like Celtic.
Yep.
Lois Jackson did this one, and it's this year's block of the week. She just made a table runner out of 3 of the blocks. And Pat Alberts did this Arizona Sunset. This quilt quilt was done by Marva Peterson, and it is modern Dresden. Looks like stained glass to me. This quilt was done by Sue Harkins, and it's called Valley Sea Star. She even made the embroidered label at the bottom.
Nice. Okay.
Bev McLean made this table runner. It's called Mom's Treasures, and she added the doilies that were a family treasure. Westlake did this one, and it's called Paper Doll Memories. And all the little embroidered dolls and
Mix them. What happens when you wash it?
Elaine Stensrud made this quilt, and it's called Stars Over Climbing Hill. Okay, the bow in the corner is by Dottie Whitmer. Yeah, just a second. Jelly roll mystery. And you take a jelly roll, which is like a 2-inch of fabric, and you sew it to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and you come out with color. Brenda Aiken did this, and it's a BQ4 pattern, but she did it Asian style, so it's little different choices of fabric. Jackson did this one, and it's another block of the week. This is last year's pattern. Christy Schleichman did this one. It's round about summer. Got a lot of work. And then Kathy Burnett did this one, and it's beaded Thanksgiving wall hanging. Julie Burzloff did this table runner, and she taught the Prairie Stars last year. And then Bev McLean made this one. It's called Housetop 4-block. She also made this one, and it's called Makes Me Happy. And then Bobby Hughes did this, and it's called Magic Carpet Australian Aborigine. Whitmer, and it's called Blue Nights, and she won 3rd place for this quilt at the Colorado State Fair. This quilt was done by Sandy Berge, and it's called Cold Blue. Butterfly Triangle Frenzy Table Runner was done by Marva Peterson. And then Nancy Bluefeld did this quilt, and it's Japanese Birds and Blooms. And she and her mother did this quilt, and she was the one who did the embroidery on it.
Lona over here.
Nancy also did that one. The sunflowers.
I'm not buying an embroidered machine. I'm not. No.
Did the pumpkin table.
No, I'm not.
This quilt was done by Grace Williams, and it's the block of the week from a few years ago. And she set it on point so that it looks different. as multiple madness, and you cut out the different layers of fabric and you put them, sew them together. They're like triangles, and then you put it into a quilt,
And you line up. Thank you.
all of the fabrics were actually cut from the pot fabric that you see behind you.
Over there on the border. And I'm not sure how it works. You cut different shapes out of the material.
Go ahead.
Okay, this quilt was made by Judy Hewitt, and it's called Red Blast.
He's doing it for the whole farm.
Okay, this quilt was done by Carla McCoy, and it's another Triangle Frenzy.
They're videoing. Stay back.
And this one was done. This one is a spiral one. It is by Carol Bernard. And then Kat did this one. It's called Intrigue.
They were videoing.
Yellow jacket, and it was done by Grace Williams. Donnie Whitmer did these yellow daisies. Mary Lyon did this one. It's called Spiral Rainbow. The stained glass wall hanging was done by Jan Putnam, and she copied it from a window that she remembered from her childhood. Betty Lowry did this Beauty of Wildlife. The Little Pumpkin was done by Julie Brzloff.
We have to have a picture of this one. Which one's that?
Brenda Aiken did these Fun with 4 Arizona style placemats. Renee Hicks did this Valley Sea Star. Straight in shades of green and brown.
I see now that. Sure.
And you can just use that as a piece.
Now, this is a jacket I made in the Bargello class.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very tricky matching all the colors in the one pattern.
I wonder when Jan and John
I picked up all the colors.
crazy.
They said 2 weeks.
Okay, this quilt is done by Lorraine Becker, and it's called Flower Patch. And we call her Dottie T. Did this one, and it's called Split Decision.
Watch the video.
Lorraine Becker did this one, and it's called Flower Patch. Oh, excuse me. No, it's back up. Marianne Becker did this one, and it's called Nana's Garden. Dawn Harris did this one, and it's called Nancy's Housewarming Gift. She made it for her friend. This one was done by Barb Ritchie, and she calls it Tortilla Strips. And then Marianne Blacksfeld did this one. It's called Movie Blocks. Pat Alberts did this one. She calls it Pineapple Explosion. And then on the bow, we have Nancy Neufeld's Block of the Week from 2012. Got it finished this year. Linda Janko did this Star Challenge. The stars within stars. This book was done by Shay Green, and she calls it Twinkle Twinkle. Colors really do twinkle.
Our show today, dating back to about 1915. It is another in Gail Sutton's collection. Here is her story. The quilt belonged to my mother, Pauline, who begged her grandmother, Nancy Meads, to make her a quilt. How could grandmother resist that? Great-grandmother Means was a master quilter, and the stitches on the quilting are 14 to an inch. The quilting patterns are feathered wreaths in the plain blocks, diagonal cross-hatching in the borders, and outlining the flowers 1/4 inch inside the piecing. Even though this quilt is in relatively good condition, my mother used it for over 75 years. It has been appraised at $1,250.
This is chenille that you can buy by the yard, and I combined it with batiks, and I've got flannel on the back, so it's nice and cozy. Machine embroidered my label, and then it'll be for our vehicle for spring and fall camping.
Okay.
This quilt is by Vicki Wheatley, and it's called Downton Abbey. And those are supposedly the fabrics that were used in some of the films. And the next one is by Kathleen Burnett, and it's called Berry Picking. And she's got all the things like the pie, etc. for that type of year.
I get all inspired.
All right.
Betty Lowry did this one, and it's called Kitty Litter. Okay. Phil did this sampler.
Because you have to do it every
Clear up in the corner was done by Kathleen Burnett.
right, sure.
All little tiny areas.
And I wanted to float it without any sideshow.
And then Becky Moss did this one, and it's called Kina's Ballerina. She's bought a panel, but she sliced it up differently so that there are 4 ballerinas to a thing.
Is it computerized?
Hughes did the one up above, and it's made with silk bow ties.
I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't get it.
And then Don Harris did this Arizona Sunrise. This bow is by Barb Christensen, and it's called University of Washington, Wisconsin. University of Wisconsin. She has the logos in the corners.
And badgers.
And okay. This is another quilt that I did. It's
You being Arlene, right?
right. This is the block of the week one from this year, and instead of putting sashing and stuff, I did it with 24 of the 12-inch blocks instead of the usual 12, and 12 of the 6-inch blocks, like in the corners, and I did it in 2 shades of blue, and actually the background fabric has the blue and the yellow in it also. This pineapple welcome was done by Dawn Harris, and Linda Riley did this fish one, similar to that other one we saw. It's called Japanese sashiko. Remember, I couldn't say the word before. Okay, Linda Riley did this large quilt, and it is in reverse applique. So you place the background fabric actually on top of the color that you want to come through. In the corner we have the Nativity Scene by Audrey Schreier. And then we have Noel by Jan Baer. And the Santa was done by Paula Bone.
All right.
This is another block of the week by
Oh, you're taking a picture.
Elaine Stansford did this block of the week. It's from 2013. This quilt that we have on the chair is from Dottie T, and it's called Take 5. This one is monkey business, and she's actually got some monkeys in there also besides all the other pets. Lavisa Markides did this one. And Cheryl Westlake did this one, and it's called Falling Leaves.
Maybe you could. Why not?
Okay, Paula Bohm did this one. This is another block of the week, and it's the squares are set on point. Lavisa Markides did this rainbow wave. And Cheryl Westlake,
Which one's yours?
Geometry in Motion.
All right.
And on this bowl we have Doreen Stokes, who did a block of the week one, but for the red and white challenge. Most of this area out here has quilts for the black and white challenge. Black, white, and red all-over challenge. Lavisa Markides did this one. It's called Elegance, and this one is a four-patch posy pattern, and so you have actual all of the fabrics were cut as if it was like a corset.